Two outdoor units sit on two concrete pads on the same street. Same tonnage, same efficiency rating, same compressor, same coil, same sheet metal cabinet. One homeowner paid a little over $4,000 installed. The other paid more than 10. Both machines came off the same assembly line, in the same American plant, built by the same corporation in the same production week. The only meaningful difference between them is the name riveted to the front. There are 9 badges on a contractor's price sheet that all trace back to a single company, and most homeowners have heard of one of them, maybe 2. This video names all 9, tells you which plants build them, and then explains exactly where that $6,000 gap actually comes from. Because it is real, it is just not what most people assume. The wall of logos at a heating and cooling supply house is one of the most convincing illusions in American retail. 20, 30, 40 different nameplates. Different colors, different fonts, different slogans about family and comfort and American reliability. It looks like a competitive market with dozens of independent manufacturers fighting for your business. It is not. Roughly 6 corporate parents control almost every residential central air conditioner and heat pump sold in the United States. 6. Everything else is a badge, a warranty document, and a distribution agreement layered on top of a machine that came from one of a handful of factories in Texas, Tennessee, Missouri, Iowa, Arkansas, Kansas, and northern Mexico. This matters because a central air system is the second or third largest purchase most homeowners make for their house, after the roof. You are spending somewhere between $5,000 and $12,000, sometimes more, on a decision you make once every 15 or 20 years, under pressure, usually in July, usually when the old one is already quit. Nobody has time to research the corporate ownership structure of the heating and cooling industry while their house is 91 degrees. So people fall back on the name. They pick the brand they have heard of, they pick the brand their neighbor mentioned, they pick the one with the recognizable logo, and they assume that a name they trust means a machine that is meaningfully different from the cheaper one sitting next to it. Sometimes it is, very often it is not. And one company in particular has built an entire portfolio on exactly that assumption. One company owns 9 badges besides its own name, and you have probably never connected a single one of them to it. The company is Carrier, and to be fair to them, Carrier has one of the legitimate great American engineering stories. Willis Carrier invented modern air conditioning in 1902, solving a humidity problem at a printing plant in Brooklyn. The company that carries his name genuinely built the industry. That deserves to be said before anything else. Here is what most homeowners do not know. Alongside the Carrier badge, that same corporation sells Bryant. It sells Payne, and through its subsidiary International Comfort Products, it sells Heil, Tempstar, Comfort Maker, Arco Air, Day and Night, Keep Right, and AirQuest. That is 9 additional nameplates, 10 badges total, 1 parent company. 7 of those arrived in a single transaction. In 1999, Carrier, then part of United Technologies, acquired International Comfort Products and inherited its entire portfolio of regional brand names. Those names were not invented by a marketing department. They were built up over decades by separate companies serving separate parts of the country. Day and Night goes back to a California water heater business. Keep Right was Canadian. Heil and Tempstar and Comfort Maker each had their own regional dealer base and their own loyal following. Then, in one afternoon, all of them became the property of the same corporation. Carrier then became an independent public company on April 3, 2020, when it was spun off from United Technologies, and it has spent the years since selling off refrigeration, fire, and security divisions to concentrate almost entirely on heating and cooling. Carrier, Bryant, and Payne are not a coincidence of branding. They are a deliberate structure. Carrier is the premium tier, Bryant is the middle, Payne is the value tier. Same engineering organization, same platforms, different price points, different dealer networks, the ICP brands slot into that same architecture underneath, and which one your local contractor sells usually comes down to which distributor holds the territory, not which machine he thinks is best. Much of this equipment comes out of plants in Collierville, Tennessee, Lewisburg, Tennessee, Tyler, Texas, and Monterrey, Mexico. A Carrier and a Heil can be built in the same building on shared platforms, using the same compressor from the same supplier, and then leave through the same door wearing different names and carrying price tags separated by thousands of dollars. If this is the kind of thing nobody explains before you sign a quote, subscribe, because this is what every video on this channel does, and Carrier is not even the strangest arrangement on that price sheet. Daikin, the Japanese manufacturer, bought Goodman in 2012 for roughly $3.7 billion. Daikin now sells 3 consumer badges: Daikin at the top, Amana in the middle, Goodman at the bottom. Amana and Goodman are widely understood in the trade to share substantial engineering. They are built largely at the Daikin, Texas Technology Park in Waller, Texas, a facility of roughly 4.1 million square feet that opened in 2017 and is among the largest factory buildings on the continent. That plant is worth picturing. Raw steel goes in one end. Compressors, coils, cabinets, and controls come together under one roof, and units leave wearing 3 different badges at 3 different prices. A homeowner comparing an Amana quote against a Goodman quote often believes he is comparing 2 companies. He is comparing 2 shelves in the same warehouse. The buyer who should look hard at Goodman is the one replacing a system in a house he plans to sell within a decade, who wants reliable cooling and does not need the longest warranty in the industry. Trane Technologies sells Trane and American Standard. In residential equipment, these 2 are close enough that contractors openly describe them as the same machine with different badges and different warranty paperwork. Underneath them sit Ameristar and Run True, the value tiers. Major residential production runs through Tyler, Texas, the same town where Carrier also builds equipment. 2 of the biggest names in American air conditioning, manufacturing in the same East Texas city, and buyers assume they come from opposite ends of the earth. Lennox runs the same playbook with a twist. The Lennox flagship is sold through company-owned Lennox stores, a closed channel that independent contractors cannot simply walk into. Its Allied Air division sells Armstrong Air, Air Ease, Decay, Concord, Airy Flow, and Magic Pack through independent wholesalers instead. Plants include Marshalltown, Iowa, and Saltillo, Mexico. So a Lennox and a Decay can share engineering DNA and reach your driveway through 2 completely separate distribution systems at 2 completely different prices. The badge on the truck in front of your house is telling you about a supply contract, not about a factory. Rheem sells Rheem, Rude, and Weather King, which the trade treats as near triplets. Rheem, despite the American name and its air conditioning operations in Fort Smith, Arkansas, has been owned since 1988 by the Paloma Group of Japan. Plenty of people who buy a Rude have no idea they just bought a Rheem, and plenty who buy a Rheem have no idea the parent company is Japanese. And the York family, which includes York, Coleman, Luxair, Fraser Johnston, Champion, Guardian, and Tempmaster, has been sold outright. In July of 2024, Johnson Controls agreed to sell its residential and light commercial heating and cooling business to Robert Bosch of Germany for approximately $8.1 billion. Those plants sit in Wichita, Kansas, and Norman, Oklahoma. 7 more American nameplates, 1 German owner, and not a single homeowner was consulted. Now here is the part that genuinely surprises people. Walk into a supply house and you will find Central Air Equipment wearing the Maytag name, also Frigidaire, also Westinghouse, also Kelvinator, Gibson, Tappan, and Philco. None of those companies build it, not one. Those are trademark licenses. The equipment is engineered and manufactured by Nortec Global HVAC, the company most of the trade still calls Nordyne, out of plants in O'Fallon, Poplar Bluff, and Boonville, Missouri. Whirlpool controls the Maytag name. Electrolux controls Frigidaire, Kelvinator, Gibson, and Tappan. They license those names to an equipment manufacturer and collect a royalty on every unit sold. The Maytag on your air conditioner has no connection whatsoever to the company that made your washing machine. There is no Maytag engineer. There is no Maytag air conditioning plant. It is a rented name on a Missouri-built machine, and it is priced as if the reputation came with it. So where does the $6,000 actually go? This is the part that most videos on this topic get wrong, and it is worth being precise about, because the honest answer is more useful than the outraged one. A $6,000 gap is real, but it sits at the extremes. It is what you get comparing a fully loaded premium badge variable speed system at a high efficiency rating against a bare single-stage value unit at code minimum. Those are genuinely different machines with genuinely different capabilities. That is not a scam. That is a product ladder. the badge tax shows up somewhere else. Compare a premium badge and its value sibling at matched tonnage and matched efficiency from the same parent, and the equipment underneath is often close to identical. The spread is smaller than 6,000, but it is far from nothing, and it can still run into the thousands. That money buys four things, and only one of them is metal. The first is warranty. Premium badges usually carry longer registered parts coverage and better compressor terms. That has real value, and it's worth paying something for. The second is feature access. The newest variable speed and communicating technology typically debuts on the premium badge first and reaches the value badge later, if at all. The third is the dealer network. Carrier factory authorized dealer, Trane comfort specialist, Lennox premier dealer, and the fourth is marketing and margin. That third one deserves a hard look. An authorized dealer badge is a franchise agreement and a training program. It is a business relationship between a contractor and a manufacturer. It is not an independent quality ranking, and it does not mean the equipment is superior to the sibling brand sitting one shelf over. It does, however, strongly influence what number appears at the bottom of your quote, and prices climbed for reasons that have nothing to do with any of this. On January 1st, 2023, new efficiency standards known as SEER 2 took effect and forced redesigns across the industry. Then on January 1st, 2025, the refrigerant transition landed. R410A is being phased out under the federal refrigerant phase-down, replaced by the newer mildly flammable refrigerants the industry calls A2L. Most American manufacturers moved to R454B. Daikin and Goodman moved to R32. Every unit had to be re-engineered, and equipment prices rose accordingly. Which brings us back to those two concrete pads. The honest final detail is the one no brand puts in an advertisement. Across the entire trade, the consensus is that installation quality matters more to comfort, efficiency, and equipment lifespan than the badge does. Correct sizing using a proper manual J load calculation. Duct design, refrigerant charge, commissioning. A value badge system installed correctly will outperform and outlast a premium badge system installed carelessly every single time. The two units on those pads are close cousins. The two installations behind them are not. So the practical move is simple. Get 3 quotes. Insist on a manual J-load calculation in writing. Ask the contractor directly which parent company builds the equipment and where the plant is, and watch how he answers. Then cross-shop the siblings at the same size and the same efficiency rating. Carrier against Payne or Heil. Trane against Ameristar. Amana against Goodman. Lennox against Decay or Concord. York against Coleman or Luxair. Compare the warranty terms side by side, and pay the premium only if the coverage or the technology actually justifies it. Carrier, Bryant, Payne, Heil, Tempster, Comfort Maker, Arco Air, Day and Night, Keep Right, and AirQuest. 10 badges, 1 company, Daikin, Amana, Goodman, 1 Texas factory, Maytag, Frigidaire, and Westinghouse. Names rented out to a manufacturer in Missouri. You are not choosing between 30 companies in that aisle. You are choosing between about 6 and then choosing a contractor. The equipment decision is worth an afternoon. The contractor decision is worth a week, because that is the one that decides whether you are still comfortable and still happy with what you paid 15 summers from now. If this saved you from overpaying, hit subscribe, because there is a lot more of this the industry would rather you never found out.